How you doing? This is Sean McVeigh, Sean's Outdoor Adventures, and in this video I'm going to show you the new Dragon series of arrows. So first I want to show you the Dragon 10, the Dragon 9, and the Dragon 8. And some of the difference is going to be in the straightness, the overall straightness. So the rating is plus or minus 0.001 for straightness for the Dragon 10. The Dragon 10 is going to come with, right now they have them with 2 black and 1 red fletch. And the Dragon 9's 2 black and a green. And the Dragon 8's 2 blacks and an orange. Now let me just pick up a Dragon 8 the way they originally sent them to the United States to show you the difference. So when they originally sent them, you'll see that the fletch is much longer. There's also an insert with a micro nock on there. So this one on this side bouncing is the micro nock, and the new one is this one here. So when they originally sent these, my personal suggestion to them was to make some modifications because these are intended to be hunting arrows. The challenge with the original build is, one, this micro nock is not typically what you use for hunting. A lot of hunters want to be able to replace this with a light up nock, so they don't want the insert there. This is more like a target archery type of nock in general. Another thing is, depending on the style of rest, if you have a drop away rest, these fletching were so far forward that if let's say you had a drop away rest right here, well, you can't, it's hard to set that rest up properly because your fletching is in the way. So I said, my encouragement to them was change the nock, shorten the fletch, or move the fletch back to, this distance here away from the string is a little excessive. So they took my recommendations into account and made some changes. So the distance from the tip of the carbon arrow to where the fletching begins, I'll line that up so you can see it's now back farther a little bit. They went to a shorter fletch, so that's not going to interfere when you're setting up your arrow rest. And also they went to a standard nock. This could be taken out and replaced with, here's an example of a light up nock in an arrow. So that will fit in there. So those are some of the changes. The Dragon 9 and the Dragon 8 were built the same. And so here's an example of the new Dragon 8 arrow. So we have the shorter, slightly shorter fletch. We also have the nock that's more, I would say, more intended for hunting. And then I'll show you the Dragon 10. So here's the original Dragon 10 with the micro nock, and here's the new Dragon 10. I'm holding the carbon arrow about the same distance from each other. You can see the fletching on the new one is closer to the end of the carbon arrow, and they are still going with the blazer vein style fletching for that. Now the Dragon 10 and the Dragon 9 come with the inserts that will need to be glued in, and they come with the tips as well, the 100 grain tips. So you can cut to length the Dragon 10 arrows and the Dragon 9 arrows. The Dragon 8 arrows, like this one here with the orange fletch there, the Dragon 8 come full length with the insert already glued in. So if you're somebody who wants a very economical arrow and you just want it, you don't want to have to glue any parts together, the Dragon 8 would be a good option for you. The Dragon 9, the Dragon 10, if you want to have them cut to the desired length to optimize it for your setup, then the 10 or the 9 would be the way to go. The 10 is going to give you the blazer veins. The 9 is going to give you, I believe these are 3-inch veins. And again, the Dragon 9 is 0.003 plus or minus 0.003 for the straightness, and the Dragon 8 0.006 for the straightness. My son's using the Dragon 8s actually. He's using the Dragon 8s and they're working fine for him. And I'm using the Dragon 10s currently. You can now buy them in either a 12 pack or a 24 pack. To do that, you'll select whether you want 12 or 24. Originally, they just sold them in 24 packs. Now you have the option of buying in a 12 pack as well. Now, I want to show you if you happen to get any of these arrows with these nocks, the original nocks. Let me grab one. Okay, so here's an example of a Dragon 9 with the micro nock. So I'm pulling off the plastic little tiny micro nock there. I'm calling it a micro nock. That's just it's tiny. Okay, so there's two options you have here. I happen to have one of these long rods for putting down in and screwing weights in the back of the insert for the tip. Something like this or any kind of long rod that you can put in here is going to help. So you can attempt to put pliers on there and just pull them out. Maybe the glue is not tight enough that you are able to do that. Another option would be to heat it up. If all you have is a lighter on hand, you can hold this sideways and use the lighter for the flame to go up and you just get the tip of it. I have this little propane torch type thing. So I'm just going to heat this up a little bit. And you want to be careful not to compromise the carbon, but I'm heating it up and then I'm going to push, see if I can, not quite, there it goes. So I heated up the glue, the insert, so that the glue would soften up, and then I pushed it out. Now we could take a regular nock and slide it down in there. I can go grab a nock actually and do that. Hang on a second. Okay, I've grabbed a standard nock. Most standard nocks are going to have one side that's going to have a little tab sticking out of it that you can feel with your finger. That's intended to typically face away from your bow, and I'm pointing that way because my bow is going to be on this side. I'm a right-handed shooter, and that's my arrow facing away from the riser is going to be that way. So my odd color fletch will face up, and I would typically you put that tab on the side facing away from your bow. So I'm going to do that, and I like to line it up with that so that the odd color fletch is going to face up, and then carefully, I'm just going to lean on this table here. All right, so the purpose of that tab, when you're hunting, you can pull an arrow. Let's say you take a shot, you need to take a second shot, or whatever, you're trying to keep an eye on the animal. You can pull an arrow out of the quiver, and you can feel with your thumb where that tab is, and knock it on without ever having to take your eye off the animal. So since I know my tab is going to face away from the bow, I'm going to feel with my thumb that tab, because my thumb's going to be on the side of the bow that's away from the side of the bow where, that's at. And I can clip it on without ever taking my eye off the animal and pull for a second shot. So that's the purpose of the little tab there when you're hunting. And so if you have the older version of these arrows with the metal insert, you can carefully heat it up and pull those out. You could try pulling them out without heating up and see if they will. Sometimes you need to heat them up and that softens the glue up, and then you can pull them out, and then you can slide in a nock. In fact, when I first got the arrows, that's exactly what I did, and I used a fluorescent green nock for that, and that's what I've been using in my hunting arrows this whole season. So there you go. There's a little update on the new style of the Dragon 8, 9, and 10. So again, shorter fletch, closer to the end of the arrows so that you can get your bow set up and tuned without the fletching interfering. Also went with a different nock, one that's a little more suited to hunting. I hope you've been enjoying my channel. I'm going to get out this week, do some more hunting. I haven't gotten as much hunting in recently just because of other life things. I'm also giving away a couple things, including a Dragon 10 compound bow. I'm giving away a slather. If you're interested in winning those, the way you'll do that is you watch the hunting videos I produced this year. I can provide a link to that playlist. And then at the end of the season, or close to the end of the season, I'm going to do a behind the scenes episode that's going to have in the description section a registration to get in the giveaway. So it's going to be all through the YouTube videos for this year. Stay tuned for that. Again, watch the hunting playlist so you can get in on those giveaways. Until next time, take care and God bless.